Hello everyone, Revan619 here, and I know it's been a very long time since I've done an upload, but I've just been a little bit burnt out on Dark Souls 3, so I've been up to other things rather than the usual Dark Souls content. And I've just been giving it some time to rest, really, because I've not been enjoying going back onto PC too much. It's just the same old for me, so I thought I would share with you guys something I was enjoying whilst we're waiting for the E3 announcements, and I believe that will probably be done by the time this video uploads. But there's a couple of projects I'm looking forward to, like the rumoured Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin game. Like, I'm really hoping that's going to be a spiritual successor to Dark Souls 3, so we're going to get maybe a more story-based game that's going to build upon the Dark Souls. But I'm burying the lead here. What we are here to talk about is Mordhau. And for anyone new to my channel, sorry for the little rambly opening, but my videos are less of a infomercial and more of just a chat with people who happen to be on my YouTube channel watching my stuff. So I've been playing Mordhau lately, and to be completely honest, I'm terrible at the game. Until the other day I played with Darkius and Nivell, who are some guys from Dark Souls 3. They really helped me up my game. I wasn't doing too well, they gave me some tips, gave me some build ideas, and I've been doing much better. So I did 4 games with them. I'm going to have 3 of them in the background. Any more than that in the video is going to be way too long. So I thought I would just let you guys watch some just clips of me in the background. I'm not going to edit out really any kills or deaths. It's just going to trim maybe the bits where I'm not doing anything, or if I'm just outside the battle healing, thinking of where to go. Because a lot of Mordhau is about positioning more than just raw skill, but if you're very good, you're going to do very well. So if you haven't tried Mordhau, I think you should. I might be saying Mordhau slightly wrong, so apologies if I am. I look forward to all the comments telling me my pronunciation is wrong. One of the really fun and enjoyable things about this game is it's kind of like a PvP Skyrim to those of you who haven't played Chivalry, even though it's a spiritual successor to Chivalry. One of the ways that you play this game, it's more about spacing and movement and the angle of your swing and how you excel and drag. So excel is where you turn the camera so your swing hits sooner than on the center, and to drag is when you turn so your swing hits later. Also, the angle of your attack matters a lot, because you can actually have people walk around, duck your hits, depending on where you hit them in the legs, chest or head, depends on how much damage they do. People create their own classes, so they'll have different armors in different places, and different weapons do different sorts of damages to different armor types. So your weapon, where you hit, how you swing, angle of your swing, whether you increase the velocity or you slow it, it all has big impacts on the game, so it actually gives you quite a nice high skill ceiling. One of the 3 modes that I seem to play a lot is Frontline, which I find the most enjoyable, which is 32 versus 32 point-based objectives, where it's just an all-out brawl to the death. You also have your duel servers, which you can do one-on-one duels, even though some people go crazy and try to just free-for-all, but the idea is meant to be one-on-one duels. And then you have the Battle Royale mode, which is kind of, you drop in, you have to run around and find weapons and armors, and then you have to be the last one to survive as the storm slowly closes in on some of the maps. Now, I'm not a big fan of the BR, because the chests where the items are seem completely random, so most of the times I'm running around not able to find anything. There's someone in maximum level armor with a one-shot weapon comes up and insta-kills me. Some people really enjoy it. I've seen a lot of people streaming it, and it is a lot of fun. I'm going to talk mostly about Frontline here because it's what I've been playing the most. So let's get to the meat of things. Mordhau is one of those games where it can be insanely frustrating to play. One of the things that you'll often find is you end up getting killed by teammates, and my god does that happen a lot. It's one of those things where you can alleviate this depending on how you space yourself around the map. One of the problems that I had when I first started playing was I would run straight at the enemy, just try swinging randomly, end up hitting teammates, and then probably get hit in the back of the head by a teammate and die myself. Or you'd start getting ganked, you'd be trying to run backwards, and then you would just die to the gank, because I didn't quite understand the mechanics. The way that you then learn to fix this is based on your positioning. What you'll find that you need to do is you'll need to think about where your teammates are and where the enemy is, and sometimes you might even need to move towards and around the enemy to avoid getting hit by your teammates and to avoid the enemy's attack, so you can hit them, and that way they're the ones that are left hitting their own teammates, rather than yourself being the one to smack a teammate then getting killed by a teammate. It's one of those things where it just adds a whole other layer to the game that makes the whole experience just a lot more enjoyable. Then you'll have to think about how you're going to swing, because if you do a big wide arc swing, you're likely to hit whoever's on the left or right of you, or possibly the environment, whereas maybe if you do a low swing, maybe you can catch an enemy who can't quite see you because they're in close, or if you go for an overhead swing, maybe you can swing between teammates to be able to hit someone. It also depends, did you see that maybe the enemy has no leg armor, so a leg shot might kill them, so you want to go for that low uppercut swing. Or maybe they have a low head armor, so you'll go for that overhead swing to be able to get the one shot there. If you're being attacked by a group of enemies, normally you're going to be wanting to block one enemy and then using the hyper armor riposte to hit a different enemy that's now trying to swing at you, because if you've got a strong weapon and you can take a one shot to the head or the legs depending where they don't have armor, then you're going to be able to parry one person, go for the hyper armor riposte on another person, because if you attack that first person, they're more than likely to parry you back, which means you're not really moving the battle forwards, and in the gank you're going to get destroyed. Sometimes it's even best just to take a couple of parries and look for your openings before you go for an attack. Now, not everyone is going to be a god at this game where you can just immediately come in doing 360 spins, parrying like 20 people, and then just going around taking everyone down. I know you'll see a lot of videos out there where people have made highlight compilations where they'll be taking on like 4 or 5 people, but 9 times out of 10, these are horrible situations to be in, and you're gonna lose. Don't feel bad if you want to back up to try and take some recovery and time to heal. The smartest thing you can do in this game is thinking about when to engage and when to retreat. If there's a bunch of your teammates with you, you can push up, think smartly, and think about how you're going to engage to attack the enemy and to get some kills and to get in some good damage. Sometimes you don't even need to get the kill, you just need to be able to damage them so your teammates can combo with it to get the kills. So it's a very fun and engaging game. 8 times out of 10, when you die, it's your own fault. There's only maybe that other 2 is either one of them is a little bit of latency, which isn't often, or another one is a teammate, even if you were trying to take every precaution not to get hit by them, they were just absolutely swinging wild and you got taken down. And that's not too bad, it's still enjoyable, but my god does it give you some rage, but in the best possible way. Except for when a teammate kills you with ballista or a horse. I'm almost certain that they went for you on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. On the actual terms of gameplay itself, I much prefer this whole point and click to position and aim your own attacks more than, say, the Dark Souls just bashing one button and it automatically does an attack, or even the For Honor where you've got one of 3 directions. You are completely in control of how you swing in this game, and I think that is way better and is way more engaging and way more enjoyable. The whole idea of being able to set up your own class, playstyle, and then choose how you swing, what combos you go for. Like, I went into a duel server, and one of my favourite things to do is to start an uppercut swing and then jump as the swing comes up. So it goes from a leg hit and excels to the head so fast it throws people's parry times off. And I've even caught some much better players than me with that. And a lot of weapons, if you're using something that can one-shot the head, you'll just get an insta-kill and it'll just completely surprise them. And one of the players I played with, who's much better than me, immediately started copying this technique and he stole my move. This also plays into that every weapon is different in themselves. They all have different damages, reaches, and even swing speeds. So even though you completely control the moveset, how you use them will vary slightly. So the Executioner's Greatsword and Frontline, if they have level 0 legs, it will one-shot them, and it will completely kill them, take the legs off, which not other weapons will do. It will do a lot of headshot damage, it will do a lot of torso damage if people have level 1 armor or level 2. So depending on what armor they have, if you can come up behind someone, you'll change how you do it. Whereas there are weapons like, say, the Maul, which is much slower, can't combo swings, much like the Executioner's Greatsword, but it will always headshot one shot. So you always want to be going for the head with that. There are thrust attacks which you can do, which are obviously faster, it's safer because you're not going to hit teammates, but it's, again, you're only going to be able to hit one person with it. So you're going to be able to want to go for a more of a bigger swing if there's multiple people to hit, or if you want to go for a poke, and depending on the weapon, the pokes might do more damage or they might do less damage. So say the Executioner's Greatsword, like I was mentioning earlier, has a very low thrust damage, but it has very good swing damage and reach, and the speed's not too bad, so I don't mind it. So you've got all these little considerations to take into it. So how you play in a duel server, you'll probably want to have a long, heavy hitting weapon that can 1 or 2 shot, whereas in Frontline, a quicker weapon where you can deal with multiple people might be better, or you might be one of those people who just wants a really long weapon, so you can just be throwing out these massive swings whilst you're fighting multiple people, not having to worry about your spacing it as much because you've got the advantage, so you can back up and do it, and if you need to then quickly dart forwards, you can hopefully get through fairly unscathed. The different weapons also have different properties. So a hammer type weapon will stop when it hits someone unless it kills them, and then it will go through, whereas a bladed weapon will always swing through. So a hammer weapon, you can hit into an enemy that you don't kill and then not hit a teammate left or right of them, whereas a sword will always swing through and hit multiple people. So swords tend to be better for fighting groups of enemies, but hammers tend to do a lot more damage to armored targets, so it depends if you want to kill lots of light armored enemies really quickly, or if you want to be able to take out one guy exceptionally well. There's a lot of ways to balance it, and you can create your own playstyles. There are shields, which are kind of difficult to get around it, but there are ways to do it, and again, if you get behind a shield, it's not going to do much, and you can swing around people's guards to hit them. So if they're blocking low and you jump and you hit down, you'll hit them. If they're blocking high and you hit their legs, it will hit them, and if you can manage to poke either side of the shield, you can still damage them. I just prefer, if they're engaged with someone else, to run behind them and hit them. Or you can try to kick, but kicks are somewhat gimmicky and you don't always get follow-up, but it does do good stamina damage. I've seen people who are very good at feinting to get close and then kicking to get the shield. There are also a bunch of perks that you can use to create your own characters as well, so there's a lot of ways that you're just completely in control. Weapons, armors, perks, playstyle, tools, so if you want to use ranged weapons such as bows, crossbows, javelins, or even if you want to use some tools that are on the battlefield such as artillery, like the catapults, or even horses and ballistas. Unfortunately, ballistas are somewhat, they can be good or they can be bad. They have a very limited field of area where they can shoot, but they will one-shot most people, which is really annoying. And horses are just absolutely broken, and in their current state just ruin the game for me. Now, some weapons, like the Birdish, full range, if you do an overhead hit, it's very easy to knock off someone off a horse and one-shot kill them. However, other weapons, you just can't swing at them at all, because when you start your swing, if the horse happens to run near you, it has an AoE effect which stops all swings. So even if you perfectly space the hit of the guy on the horseback, your weapon's swing can still be interrupted by the horse running near you, so then you don't get a hit and you just can't stop it. Any good player on a horse is essentially going to be unstoppable unless you have someone even better with a ranged weapon on your team. It is very frustrating, and I think they do need to be doing a little bit of balance there. The map choice is limited, and at the start it is quite enjoyable, but I would like to see some more maps down the line. Maybe a few balancing issues, because some of the maps are slightly unbalanced, but I do hear rumours that there are balances coming to Tega. But there's also a new map coming out, which is apparently just meant to be Horse Artillery Simulator, and it's really annoying. But I don't know, I think this game has a lot of potential, and as long as they keep updating it for an indie game, it can do quite well. But the biggest issue for me is the actual optimization of the game on your computer. Unless you're running a solid state drive, you'll load maps about half the speed of everyone else, and the game starts immediately, so only people with the best computers actually get to spawn at the start of the game. But if you're playing on not a solid state drive, by the time you actually join the game, 2 objectives are normally already taken, and if the other team has the majority of people that have the solid state drives and they get to the objectives faster, you're going to be coming into the game, your team's going to be losing, and once you've lost the midway point of the game, it is almost impossible to come back unless you have an exceptionally well coordinated team, which is incredibly random. However, I have found with just 4 people or 3 people in a party that are coordinating, you can push back a full 32 team of people that aren't communicating, because you can just take key objectives and really damage the enemy team. So team play does matter a lot. You do want to play with friends, you do want to be able to be in a party, because if not, you're probably going to be playing solo, you're not going to be going for the objectives, you're not going to want to be risking killed by teammates, and you're going to be maybe getting high kills, low deaths, but you're not going to be helping the team win the game. Now, some people might enjoy that, other people won't, but then that leads to the other issue, which is the game chat is completely unfiltered, and my god, are people salty. I actually enjoy just reading it because of some of the rage messages, but I understand for some people that can put them off. But this is a PC-only game, and I've always seen PC as the more adult platform, and I don't mean that like to look down on consoles, I mean that in the way of that if you've got a PC and you're spending time on PC, it's normally because you're someone who's either in college or university, you have the money for it, so you've built it yourself. Whereas some kids will be on it, but I get with a game like Mordhau, it's probably going to be more aimed towards a more adult market. Just because I think that doesn't mean that people should be going out there just throwing out every slur under the planet at 10-year-olds that could be in it. But then again, I played 360 back in the heyday, so I've seen the worst of what the gaming community has to offer on that aspect. However, on an overall sort of feeling, to summarize my ideas of the game is, I really enjoy it. I think if you haven't played it and you like Medievals type games, you like your Dark Souls, you like your For Honors, you should definitely give this a go. There's a lot of customization, there's a lot of ways to troll. It's like, hell, I'm surprised FighterPL isn't making videos of him just running around on a firebomb build, where he's just using like a heavy hand axe and a bunch of firebombs, and he's just raining it down on his own team or the enemy teams, making troll videos. There's a lot of potential for this. This game is incredibly well aimed at making montage highlight reels. I'm expecting to see hundreds of montage highlight reels of people just cutting all their devs, showing them taking on like 6 people, or maybe even stitching together several different games on the same map, pretending it's the same map, even like the same game on the same map, even though the score counter is just going all over the place at the top. And I would like to get myself a little bit more involved in the duel stuff. Like, I did it once with a couple of friends, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the whole duel community, they even have people that cosplay British police that go around stopping people from having fights, making sure it's 1v1, and keeping everyone in order. And there are some people who are really good. Like, they'll just run at you, do loads of feints. If you try to feint, they'll instantly call your bluff, and they'll smack you in the face. However, if you try to call their bluff, they'll still somehow block it. And there's just so much to learn. Like, I'm still at the basic levels. I'm doing okay in frontline now. I'm doing a little bit better in dual servers, but I'm probably about average mid level. And I think that there is a lot of ways to build myself up and improve. There's also a lot of other weapons I want to try. Like, mostly I've been using the Executioner's Greatsword, but I want to try a few shield builds, maybe a rapier, and a couple of axe builds, because they do look a lot of fun just going around with these big old swings, and trying to learn how to get the really big lunges on attacks. I've noticed when I'm doing swings, I don't seem to lunge forwards very far, but I'll see other people who they'll like swing right, and they'll lunge huge distance right, then they'll swing left, and they'll go huge distance to the left. You see a lot of people using the Messer, which is like the Pontiff Knight curve sword of this game. So I think there is a lot of potential for fun there, like, and just the skill ceiling in itself. However, I have heard rumours that Chivalry 2 is going to be announced at E3, and if that's the case, if the devs don't want this game to die, they really need to fix the optimization, because that is my biggest pet peeve right now, because sometimes your screen will freeze and you'll get frame drops, and it'll look like the enemy will just suddenly warp towards you and hit you, or they'll teleport around, or it'll skip the animation of a morph or something, and then you'll miss a parry and you'll die. This can be very frustrating, and I think it might lead to people quitting the game, because on average, not a lot of people are going to reflect upon themselves when they play this and think, okay, what did I do wrong here when I died? They're just going to see a glitch one time, and then every death they're going to be like, this is why I keep dying. This game sucks. So if they want the game to keep going and improve, the devs really need to fix that and optimize it. And yes, I understand it's an indie team, so I'm actually just really happy with what we've got. But I would like to invest the time, and I would like them to invest the time to keep the game alive, because if they don't fix those optimizations, I see people quitting in droves. However, let me know if you've played it, what your experiences have been and what you think. And if you haven't played it and you've watched this video and you're thinking about maybe trying, maybe let me know what made you want to try it. Maybe it was something in the video, something I said, maybe there was something you didn't know about the game that you've now learned. However, all in all, that's pretty much my thoughts on Mordhau. I'm going to keep playing it. If this video gets some views, I might make some clips and montages, I might do some live streams, or hell, I might just record me playing in parties and I'll just upload the trimmed down versions of the games just live with our in-game chat audio. We'll see. Let me know below what you think. And yeah, we're going to be seeing what's coming up at E3, so I'm actually quite looking forward to it. Because like I said earlier, there is some announcements of rumours for the George R.R. Martin Dark Souls. There's been some leaks and some other games, so there's quite a few things I want to try. It's a shame that I don't have Xbox, because there's probably going to be a Gears of War 5, and god do I miss Gears of War. I played Gears of War 1, 2 and 3 religiously. Gears of War Judgment I felt like broke the game, that's why I jumped to PlayStation over Xbox. But there's another gen coming, so who knows, if PlayStation 5 is looking bad and the next Xbox is looking good, maybe I'll swap back over there. I don't know, or maybe if they have a PC option this time, because I don't think you can play Gears of War 4 on PC, which is a shame, because it was the first Gears of War game I haven't played. And again, of course, Halo. God, Halo used to bring the worst out of me, and that was such an enjoyable game. However, let me know what you're looking forward to E3. Likely this video is going to go up after E3, so comment below also your thoughts on E3. And I'll see you all next time, and who knows, maybe it won't be so long before I do another upload. And who knows, if this successor to Dark Souls 3 has PvP, and it is a spiritual PvP successor, we could have regular content again, and we'll have a whole new world and a whole new set of builds to explore, and just all of the fun times that we've had for the last couple of years all over again. And obviously I'll try to get involved with some of the other content makers, and we'll see what happens. Till next time, Rev now. I'm going to let the rest of the content in the background play, so it's the rest of the game. Till next time, I'll see you in the future.